So good morning, my angels. Good morning. I hope I'm situated right here. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Yeah, a blessed morning, a great breakfast, a great start of the day. I'm thanking God for this new day that we have, that He always gives us a brand new, beautiful day. Enjoy it, make the best of it, and just leave everything else in His hands. Okay? So, guys, yesterday I did my first part of my life story, and yeah, so this is gonna be the second part. Okay, I don't know how many parts it is. Maybe it could be 2, maybe it could be 3, depending on how much I speed up on it or how much I cut off it. So yeah, so this is what I'm gonna be having today for breakfast. I'm having the wheat whole grain bread. As you can see, I made some egg whites with orange peppers and spinach. If you can see that good. All right, it's the peppers, and I have a few of the Sunny chips here just because I still have that bag in the fridge, and I don't even touch it. So I said, and just a little handful of blueberries. Of course, the star of the day, which is my coffee, and my water, which becomes the second one now. Okay, right now. Yes, you guys. So let's say a little prayer. And let's dig in and let's start with our story time. Thank you, Father, for this food I'm about to receive. Please bless the hands that made it, and please bless this food into my body. Please bless my children and everyone else, the homeless and everyone who else needs food. Please bless everyone with food, and please bless it into their bodies, God. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay, so let's have a chip first. They still fresh because I have them in the fridge, but not as fresh when you buy them. You can hear that crunch even more louder. Let's take a sip of my coffee first. Cheers. Oh my goodness. That first sip of coffee, it's everything. Let's take a bite out of the sandwich. I toasted a little bit, but not as much as I usually. It's very good. You're probably saying, should have got cheese. I cut down on the cheese. So, I know it tastes even better. Oh, and I put a little bit of the vegan mayonnaise in there. So that gives it a little bit flavor, you know what I mean? Magnifique. Okay, you guys. Yesterday, if you didn't see that first part and you'd like to see it, it's yesterday's video. I'm saying the story of my life, things since I have memories. So I started yesterday, and yeah, today is the second part of it. Yesterday I was talking about when I was probably like 4 or 5, and then I came all the way up till from 7. It came down to when I'm starting going to school, like 12 and 13. Okay, you see how I jumped through those years. Yeah, so like I have said, after the fire, my brother, my nephew, we moved. From there, that's when I started school. I was already 6. And yeah, so I was 6 because my brother was 12. So I started school. And then I started school late, yeah, just because, you know, I guess because of everything that was going on. So I already, you know, turned 6. And then from there was like another fire. And then we moved some other place. So then I was 7. So from there, that's where I really grew up. That's when I really grew up. I grew up there for 10 years. And yeah, so then me and my sister Evelyn, like I was saying, we did everything together. Now 7 years old. Let me slow down. 7 years old. Okay, I was going to a school that was right across the street from my home. Okay, there I was in 1st grade. Then they put me 2nd grade. They put me in another school. So there I finished my whole thing till 8th until I graduated. So then I went to high school, of course. Well, like I was saying, my mom always took care of me and my sister Evelyn and Martha, that she lived with us. She was a little older than us, but she still lived with my parents. So we us 3. We was always us 3, and with my parents. So after that, we used to go to school, me and my sister, and it was so fun, you know what I mean? I used to love a group named Menudo, and we was infatuated with them. And I used to love Johnny Losada. He's from the group, and they were like little kids, just like us. And my sister used to like Rene, and they matched because my sister had color eyes and he had color eyes, and she had like the blondish hair and he had like the blondish hair. It's like, you know what to pick. And then the one I liked had the black hair and the brown eyes, just like me. So yeah, but I remember my cousin used to fight with me because she liked the same boy, and I had like 2 big fat albums full of pictures. They used to have a newspaper called Menudo, a newspaper called, yeah, Menudo Mundo, something like that. And I used to go every morning. My dad, at that time, you know, back then things were so cheap. You used to eat with $2. You can eat. My father used to give me and my sister $3 for lunch. With those $3, I used to go buy. The first thing I used to do is go across the street in the mornings going to school, buy that newspaper and save it because it always had pictures of the Menudo group. And then I used to put in my book bag, and then with that change, the money I had, I used to buy, because the newspaper was probably like what, a quarter, 30 cents back then. So then I used to buy my lunch, and I still have money left over. Yeah, so I used to come back home, cut the little papers, cut the little pictures, and put them in my album. So I had like 2 big fat albums full of those pictures. My cousin used to get jealous because she never used to cut stuff. I even went to Puerto Rico with my sister Evelyn. My parents sent us one time in summer, and I wanted to see them so bad, but I didn't get to. That's another story. I had a cousin over there who was like probably like 30 years older than me. I was 14 then. And she was like the meanest cousin. I never even know her. And she didn't really got along with me. She got along with my sister, but not with me. And my sister used to get so mad. So then I didn't get to see them. And to cut the story short, when we came back home, that same cousin, like a month or 2 later, she ended up coming to my home. She didn't want me to sleep with her over there. She sent me to sleep with another cousin of mine who was closer to my age. and only my sister could sleep with her. And then when she came back over here to where my parents lived, my parents, of course, I was my mother's niece, and Evelyn, my sister, she's like, no, you're not sleeping with me. I ended up letting her sleeping in my bed. That was crazy. Well, it was our bed because it was mine and Evelyn's. It was mine and my sister's bed. But my sister didn't want her to sleep in that bed. I think my sister went to sleep to the other room. Or she didn't want her to sleep near her. But it's because she knew how she treated me. So my sister always took care of me. My sister, because I'm the type of, I was the type like quiet, you know. But my sister was the voice for me. Anybody try to put me down or tell me something that's not right, you better be careful what you say about my sister. My sister, and she was like that forever. She was like a protector. She was always protecting me. I don't know, it was something like, that's how she was. She protects, you know. She don't like people saying bad stuff to anybody or making them feel bad or anything. My sister had no hairs in her tongue, let me tell you. She would tell you straight up in your face. She don't hide behind nobody to tell you what she has, what she's thinking about, or what you deserve to hear. Yes, that was an amazing time. That was beautiful years. We got along so good, you know. Like, we were the two little ones. We were the two youngest. And everybody else was out. So it was just me and her, you know. And my sister Martha, like I said, she lived with us too. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. My father used to give us money. Every time he gave us money, when she went to high school, I was still like almost finishing grammar school. So my dad used to give us money every time, and what we used to do is buy outfits. I used to buy an outfit for Friday, and she used to buy an outfit for Friday. So we used to wear our outfits for Friday, on the Friday, right? So then for next Friday, I wear her outfit. So I had another new outfit, and then she wear my outfit. She had another new outfit. So we used to switch. So for 2 Fridays, we were wearing like new different outfits, you know. It was amazing. It was so good. So then from there, I ended up, when I was 15 then. When I was 15, yeah. You know, like I said, I never go out or anything. I used to just go to my sister's house with my other sister, Terry. And because she had a daughter, so she used to bring her to the swings and stuff, because where my sister lived, there was swings and stuff, you know. It's like a playground. So she used to bring me with her. Plus, sometimes my sister Martha used to babysit for my other sister. And I used to always go with her, to stay with her, you know, in the weekend. So I could keep her company while she's babysitting. All this when I was 15. So I never had a boyfriend before, so I didn't know what that was, like, still. I need that drink. So then, where my sister lived at, that's where I met my first boyfriend, which is my kid's father. He was 15 as well. So we got, you know, we started talking. First, when he came up to me, I was sitting down at the bench with my sister while, you know, the daughter is like on the swing. He came up to me on a bike. He said hi, this and that. I said hi. So then he started telling me about my nephew. He had asked my nephew that he has seen me walking with my sisters and stuff, and he said, you with the burgundy leaves. Back then, I used to have like the burgundy. I have them all colors. So then, he said that he asked my nephew, how old was I? He said, I was 35. And then my nephew, rest in peace, that was James. He was a very jealous nephew. He took care of his aunts as well. So then, he was telling me he didn't really believe it because I look too young for 35. So then that's why he came back up to me when he see me with my sister there sitting down in the bench. And I said, no, I'm 15. And then he said, oh, I'm 15 too. And I said, nah. So he started talking, a boy and a girl talking like, you know. So he asked me where I live. I told him where I live, which it wasn't far from where he lived. He ended up going over there, talking to me through the window because we live in the first floor. And that's how we started, like, going out. That's how we started. As soon as we started, like, seeing each other, like, it was weird because now I have to go outside and see him. So I don't know, I don't remember how many times we seen each other before I told him, you know, I have to bring you to my house so you can meet my parents. But I was scared because I never had a boyfriend, so I never took anybody home. So, but my parents were very, like, they weren't like those type of parents that you be scared, you know what I mean? I was a little bit scared because my mother was more stricter than my dad. My dad was Mr. Softy, let me tell you. I could get through my dad with anything. Unless it's something bad that has to do with a man or something, oh no, my dad overprotects us. But any little thing, like I could talk, you know, my dad into it. You know, I had my ways to talk my daddy into everything, but I was this little girl, so then I told him. So I told him he was gonna come certain day. So then I hear my apartment was, the apartment of my parents was like straight up like a train, like straight. So I stood in the living room and I heard the little knocks at the door in the kitchen, and my parents were in the kitchen talking and cooking, doing whatever their thing over there. And I already knew that was him. So I was like, oh my God, I just stood in the living room because I was scared. And then he came in, my father, of course, he approached him, you like a man, you know, this and that, you know, come in, you know, this and that, sit down, you want anything to drink and whatever. So then he started, my father was like, okay, you know, talk to me. You know, I guess he was asking him probably like, you know, what you want with my daughter, and you know, whatever talk a father does. I don't know, because I couldn't hear it too good because I was all the way in the living room. And it was like 5 rooms. That was 5-room apartment. But, and he was talking very low. The only thing I know that he told me that he was just nervous going like this the whole time. So, my father talked to him there, and then he told my mother, oh, because she told me that you're strict. I was like, oh, you said that to my mom. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no. And then, but my mother never said anything to me because my mother was the stricter one. Well, that somebody has to be stricter than the other one because that's the only way it's gonna work. And when I say strict, I don't mean the strict kind like hit you and stuff. No, the one that, no, get up for school. No, you going to school, or you know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go to school. She's the one that tells her all the stuff, you know. She was the stronger one, like that. strict for me is because I couldn't get over her the way I did with my dad. Period. That's why for me that was strict. And then so then they accepted him. He started going to see me in the house every day after school. And then after a while, my father didn't like that, because now he's every day from after school all the way till 9 in the night or 8 in the night. Like, my father didn't like that already. Like, my father was always home. We used to sit in the living room without door way open. Make sure my father used to sit right in the middle of the kitchen, because he always liked to play his guitar. My mother would be in bingo with my sister Doris. So then my father used to sit right in the middle of the kitchen, and that's all he did all the time. He kept looking over there, you know, like my dad always watch us. So and then we could sit. We had two little sofas, and then the big one. We used to sit in the little ones, him in one and me in the other. And the most thing we did was like grab the hand. It was like very innocent, very innocent. So then there comes like time went by. There was little red flags there. Like, my father one time told him, don't come every day. You could come at least 3 times a week, because she has to go to school, and she needs to study, and she needs to, you know, do the things. He didn't listen. That was one red flag. He didn't listen, and then he kept coming over and over. He didn't care. My father said that. One time my father, when he left at 9, he said, but didn't I tell you to come only like 3 times a week? And then he's just like ignoring my dad and walking out the door. My father tried to grab him like this to talk to him, and he just kept going. Like, he disrespected him. That was definitely a red flag right there. But as for me, already I was 16. As for me, as a kid who's in love, like, you don't see it. You know, you don't see it. You don't see it because you think, oh, it's okay, you know. You're not thinking about your parents at the time. You're thinking about that boy, you know. And then that was definitely a red flag. And then one of the time that he said stuff to my parent, that he was kind of fighting with me. And then my nephew, he went to tell him, Papi Walito, this guy, he's fighting with Abby in the hall. And then as my father coming out, he just went into his bike and just riding away, and he said something stupid about, oh, your daughter's this and that, whatever, and, you know, because he was very mad at me. That was definitely a second flag right there. And then he cheated on me after with another girl. That was definitely a red flag. But, you know, as a kid, you know, I was still 16. And yeah, I still kept going and going. And then 3 months later, one of my nieces tell me, oh, Abby, this guy wants to see you. He's at the same spot where the trees are at. He already know what the trees were. I was like across the street from my house. I went, and that's when we make up again after 3 months. I was already cured. I was good. I was doing good. And then because that really hit me when he played, you know, because you know, I as a kid, you know, my first boyfriend, and you know, of course. But then I was good, you know. I was trying to take pills. My sister said, why will you do something like, no, God don't want you to do that. You're a beautiful girl. You're just starting to live now. You're going to have so many boys in life to choose from. Like, no, that's not worth it. This, and, you know, she opened my eyes. So then, like I said, then 3 months passed. I was good already. And then he came back looking for me. So, and I'm thankful. Honestly, I'm thankful for that, because I have my children, you know. So I'm thankful. I thank you, Lord, because I have my children. I have my grandchildren, you know, and definitely I wouldn't change it. But yes, and then we went back and everything. We was together. So when I was 17, that's when I dropped out of high school. Little later, like I was still 17, I got pregnant. So I left my house. And then we moved into his mother's house. Everything was so crazy for me because, remember, I was the quiet girl from the block. And all these things were happening like so fast for me. I was like a confusion for me. I was having fun in a way that I was happy because I loved him. But then, I don't know, years later, I felt something was not right. It was wrong. Of course, you know, I wouldn't have wanted done it that way. I would have wanted to wait, finish school, and wait, you know, to make sure, you know, do it right. You know what I mean? But I'm sure a lot of girls go, of course. But, you know, this is something to learn from. You know, you wait. You go to school. There's plenty of boys. Don't rush yourself. You know what I mean? Just stay put. Listen to your parents. Think about your parents, all the hard work they put into you. You know, it's not worth it to just drop everything for a boy. No, that's not the right way. You know, back then I didn't have nobody to talk to me because, mind you, I told you my parents were old-fashioned. My parents they came from Puerto Rico. My parents were in their 40s, and they were already older. You know, like not even older, but you know, they were already like, you know, that's the way they were. They were raised like that because my grandparents, I never met my grandmothers. I don't know how that felt, you know, but I know that the grandmother, my mother's mother, she was just like my mother. I heard she used to pray all the time, and she was like an angel, my mother, my grandmother. So, you know, that's why I didn't have nobody really tell me what I was supposed to do and stuff. And I made a lot of mistakes. I learned from my own mistakes, but you know, that's how it is, you know, for a lot of us. You know, you don't have somebody to tell you exactly what to do and how to do it and put that little thing in your mind, you know, in your head. So I kind of raised my kids like that too. It's not because you want, it's just because that's how you're raised, you know, and that's how it keeps going. It's like a chain, you know, but it's no, you know, no. You have to stay home. You have to stay home, listen to your parents, finish school, after school, go to college, go to work, you know, make a good future for yourself. Don't put nobody before you, okay? Especially a boy. You can't do that. You have to finish school and do everything you have to do when you're working and you have everything done and you finish school, you're doing what you want to do. And then if God puts that little, you know, God puts that, not that little, if God puts that guy into your life, then if you're ready and you think that's the one, give it a try, you know, and leave it in God's hands. If it's not, God will flush it away from you, and then you just take your time. Just take your time. It's no rush. So, anyways, so then I left. Then I was pregnant. Then I had my first daughter when I was 18. I had my first blessing. So then we lived there for a whole year. Then 3 months later, I got pregnant with my son. And then that's when I had my first apartment. We had our first apartment, and then things went okay. They went okay, but like a few years later, like 4 years later, then I had my other daughter. By that time I had my other daughter, this man was very, like, maybe the first 4 years, they were okay. That's when I had my kids, you know, since we moved together. Then after that, like, he was kind of abusive and stuff, and you know, things got very bad, like very jealous, very abusive, and you know, things like that. So then I had my other daughter. Things didn't change. I just ended up leaving, of course. I ended up leaving, but I'm telling you, I'm cutting down all these years because this person I was with for 15 years. So my kids were kind of small, you know, they were kind of small still, like 8, 9, and then the little one was like 5. So I left, and before that I tried to leave like 5 times, but always felt bad, sorry, of course, always talked me into coming back. And of course, as a softie, I always did. But I wasn't thinking of myself. I was thinking more about the person suffering, and I felt bad, and I can make it better. You know, I can make him feel better, whatever. No, that's not the way it is. Put yourself first and your family. Because now I had family. I had my children. That was a huge mistake, you know. Because the right thing to do is walk away from somebody that's not doing good for you. Somebody that's hurting you. Because they hurting you and they hurting your kids. So you definitely have to get out. It's not just you, it's your children. If I would have known like I know now, I would have not accepted, not even one day. You know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, you learn by mistakes, you learn. You know, and that's how it is, you know. People sometimes, you don't realize the stuff, the life you live, it's, you know, sometimes you put up, like a lot of women put up because their kids. No, you're not putting up because of their kids. You think you're putting up because of your kids. You're doing it for you because you're scared. You're scared to leave, you know. You're afraid because they tell you stuff. They're gonna hurt you, they're gonna take your kids, or they're gonna do this, or they're gonna do that, and you're scared to leave. But no, that's what the law is there for. You know, so many times I never went to cops or anything. I took care of it myself. Just one time that I did, because my sister-in-law, may she rest in peace, she brought me. She said, no, Abby. And then, you know, I went to get my kids. I went to get back my kids and stuff. Don't ever let nobody abuse you. Ain't nobody has the right to abuse you any kind of way. Not any kind of way. Okay? Take care of yourself always, and always remember, God is going to be there for you. Everything's going to be okay, you know. Like I said, women stay because all they think is kids. No. The kids are suffering as well, you know. You have to get them away from people who does that, who abuses you. There's a lot of men that like to physically abuse women and girls, and that's definitely not the right way to live. You know, I'm gonna cut it short here. I'm gonna just stop here because it's already been half hour. So I'm gonna continue tomorrow. I'm gonna leave it off here. My angels, I appreciate you coming and clicking on my video. If you're interested in my story, thank you. You know, maybe you can learn something from this, because I'm sure there's a lot of young girls out there who is starting to live their life and starting what I went through all in my life. They're starting now, you know. May God always be with you and help you. And if you can learn something from what I'm saying, more power to you, you know. So thank you, my angels, for coming by. Thank you for clicking. Always much love to you guys and blessings. Please be good, be safe, be blessed, my angels. I'll finish this in a minute. And I'll see you in my next. Bye.